What's up, y'all? It's your boy Kev on stage, and it's time for Dear Kev on Stage. Today's message reads, Dear Kev on Stage. I am a 20-year-old young man who was born and raised in the church. I used to have a strong relationship with him in high school, even up until my first year of college. However, as of lately, my faith and belief in him has died down due to certain situations in my life. The biggest two are, number one, I've struggled with my sexuality for a long time due to a molestation that took place in my childhood. And number two, my parents, dad and stepmom, are getting divorced. I had prayed, fasted, and cried about both of these issues for a very long time, and I'm still struggling. My folks have decided to go their separate ways, and I try to keep the faith, but I feel like, what's the point? God is sovereign and will do what he wants. If he doesn't want to deliver me, then he won't. And he can't make them stay together, even though he says divorce is a sin. Since I'm so hurt, I've started acting out, smoking, drinking, and barely going to church. Although I know these things are wrong, I feel like God let me down, so I'll let him down. Dangerous, I know. On top of all that, I feel like the church says and sets all these standards that they themselves can't reach. They say cussing, drinking, smoking is a sin, but yet those same people tell me this are talking about people and known for having bad attitudes. Like, get out of my face with that. Please give me some advice on how to get myself out of this rut. Love your videos and spirit. You're one of my favorite role models on how to be a better Christian. P.S. Can you make another black church phrase explaining sat down and won't he do it? My friends don't get them. Confused young Christian. Dear confused young Christian, you're not alone. I've actually received like 3 or 4 Dear Kev on stages saying I'm losing my faith in God. And here's the absolute truth. God would rather you be outright saying I'm losing my faith in you than to pretend that everything's okay and act the same way. God would rather you be hot or cold, lukewarm. He spews out of his mouth. So it's not the end of the world to have these feelings. You're disappointed, you're let down, you're hurt. It's natural. My advice to you is some advice I've had to take for myself. Well, let me go back. First, you're not the only one who struggled with sexuality or struggled with sin. I've been married for 10 years. I still struggle. I used to be a womanizer. I've told this story before. I used to be a womanizer. And still, when I see women, sometimes I got to check my own self. Like, Jesus, I got to check that old spirit of lust and look down at the ground or whatever. Because I'm not delivered all the way. I'm working on it, but God's not through with me yet. And some of the stuff that I used to get tempted by, I used to watch a lot of pornography. Some of the stuff that used to tempt me still tempts me. I still be having the same thoughts. But I just don't give in all the way and just completely be like, forget it. I'm just going in and forget it all. One of the keys to your situation is you can't have your Christianity tied up in other people. The fact about your parents getting divorced, it is very traumatic and difficult to deal with. And my sister-in-law, the youngest one, her whole view of Christianity was tied up in her mom, and her parents got divorced, and her whole mindset was lost. Like, her whole idea about Christianity and divorce was completely rocked. She's regained her footing now, but a lot of us grow up with our thoughts of Christianity and God placed in people in pedestals: pastors, first ladies, parents, deacons, people in the church. And here's the thing. We're all human and we all fall short of the glory of God. So it's so important to have a personal relationship with God, because if you put your faith in and your trust and your belief in God, invisible people, they will fail you. They will always fail you, and you will fail yourself. I want to say it was Paul, but I want to say it's Paul, and I always feel bad for not remembering these things, but I didn't go to theology school. And Paul was like, I have this thorn in my side, and no matter what I do, it won't go away. I struggle with this forever. And I think sometimes we have that, issue where we all just continually struggle with things. But the Bible says, I press towards the mark of the prize of the high calling. And press to me signifies that it's not necessarily going to be easy or done easily or anything like that. It's going to be a struggle. So to me, I would find that quiet time and quiet relationship part with God. I really recommend YouVersion Bible devotionals. There's something on everything, and there's one on losing your faith and being angry. There's one called on being angry with God. There, on YouVersion. It's just that Bible app, on Apple devices and probably Android. I would start with one of those. They have a very good ones, very real devotionals that speak kind of very clearly. And I would start there. And it's cliche, but take it one step at a time. One devotional, one thing at a time, and work on establishing a relationship with God for you and yourself. And it doesn't mean that everything that you feel will be gone. Like you read a devotional and then you'll be healed and everything's going to be good and everything's going to be perfect after one thing. But just like a relationship with a person, you take time to get to know them, spend time with them, pray, talk to God like that. God, I'm disappointed in you. I feel like you let me down. I prayed for my parents to stay together and they did it. What is up with that? Like, that's probably a much more effective prayer than some like hocus pocus thing you heard from somebody else. You can tell God, I'm mad. I don't like this. I don't understand that. Imagine how good that will feel to tell God how you feel, like straight like that, with no like sugarcoating. God, I'm upset. How could you let this happen to me? How could you let this happen to me? Why did you let me get molested? Why am I struggling with this? Where are you? I thought you were supposed to be there for me. I almost got scared just saying that. But that type of stuff is the real. Like when you cut through all the pretense and stuff, that's where you can get some real relationship development stuff. So I would also recommend a small group, and know that the people in your church are struggling just like you. They ain't going to say it. It's not going to be clear. It's not going to be loud. But they're struggling just like you. And I hope I helped you and anybody else who's struggling or losing their faith in God or going through a difficult time. Remember, for the battle is not yours, it's the Lord's. See you tomorrow.
What's up, everybody? It's Kev on stage. Go subscribe to my YouTube page. Don't you be bitter. Just follow me on Twitter. What's up, everybody? It's Kev on stage. Go subscribe to my YouTube page.